Andrew Forrest, thank you for joining us. I love speaking to you because this man never holds back. He always, says it as it is, how you think it. Your reaction to actually Donald Trump, first of all, at the UN, saying that climate change is a con, was pretty fiery.
Well, look, it was a complete dismissal of the lived experience of people I know all around the tropical belt. I mean, I invite the President to come to where I own several million acres of land in Australia. Come and see what it's doing there. I mean, come and dive, I'm a marine ecologist, come and dive on the largest reef systems in the world. This is predicted science. I want to remind the President that when science predicts something and it happens, it's probably true. So, predicted event, coral reefs would get shattered as one of the first hideous tipping points, then the Amazon and then others. But I just invite him to come with me. Come for a dive on the Great Barrier Reef, biggest reef system on Earth, the longest fringing reef, 5,000 kilometres away, the Minderoo Reef. Step out like I have into the middle of the ocean, dive of the Indian Ocean, dive on those islands, which they're devastated. They're covered in moss. They were the most vibrant ecosystems on Earth, and as science predicted, marine heat waves caused by global warming, fossil fuel emissions will wipe them out. Then come with me perhaps where, he's an American, proud American, I'm a proud Australian. Our servicemen died keeping the world just together. 80 odd years ago, my uncle was shot down defending American troops, was shot down over Bougainville Island, and I'm searching for his remains. I've been searching for his remains for many, many years. The villagers helped me in that search. They consider themselves fundamental to the Allied victory in Papua New Guinea in the Pacific Basin because they helped us. They're still helping us, but they're moving their homes, they're moving their schools, they're moving their tiny little maternity hospitals back each year. And you watch the tides come up, and they're having to rebuild each year. I just want to invite the President, if you're going to dismiss absolute bulletproof science because it suits a political or agenda that you believe in, one horse in a race, right? You've got all sorts of energy horses available to the world right now and the North American people. But you're backing the oldest, tiredest old horse, which is oil and gas. And you're saying to your American people, we're going to put your lives and you're going to bet on oil and gas. And I'm just saying, whoa, don't do that, Mr. President. Global warming is as true, scientifically backed, as you believe it's false. No matter how much time you say a mistruth, it's still a mistruth. And if it's offensive, I'm really sorry. I'll give you the address and number of my lawyers. I'll accept a writ, sue me. But I just want to lay out, global warming is happening. We're living it. We are your strongest Pacific ally. We are living it. All those votes you want in the Pacific Islands, they're living it.
But Andrew, what does it mean for actually investment? So when the President says something like that, does private money and private capital double down on where it needs to be for the green transition, or does it back away?
No, I get asked, well, hang on, I mean, it's not just President Trump, it's all the banks, it's the institutions, they've all gone quiet on their green targets or they've walked back on them. It's not just him. I'm saying, I'm sorry, it is. They haven't walked back on their own. They've been walked back because there's a gun at their head. So these institutions who rely on the support from the US government are walking back because the President said global warming is baloney. No, that statement, that's the only baloney. And so I'm simply saying, look, I have had a deep relationship with America. You helped me build my company. I borrowed and repaid tens of billions of dollars. I have a deep relationship with China. These are all good people. We don't have to demarcate between the two. It's not all about economic appendages, which one's bigger. It's about the biggest threat, which I'm asking every businessman, every businesswoman, every political leader in the world, have the courage, have the caliber of your character to face into what is going to hit us all and is hitting the people of the Pacific and Australia right now, and that's global warming. It's going to hit North America and hard. You have a lot of people
Are you decarbonizing? Are you accelerating decarbonization of your company?
Yeah, I think you shouldn't really believe everything someone says, but you should trust absolutely what they do. So we are in full-throated decarbonisation, not because we're woke, not because we're greenies, but because we're hard-edged business people. We fundamentally know that going green is going to save us much more money than sticking with fossil fuel. The technology race is done. Green energy is leaving fossil fuel behind. Now, yes, there's pressure to not go green, but I'm saying there's a greater pressure, and that's economics. And yes, we were a little lonely, but I'd like to announce with you that we're not lonely anymore. We have companies around the world leaning hard into pure commercial, practical multilateralism, gluing the world back together where it should always be.
So this is what, an announcement of a partnership with other big companies to decarbonize, or is it pen on paper?
Oh, yeah, this is lock-solid contracts. This is not flimsy heads of agreements, or these are some of the biggest contracts Fortescue will ever enter into. I mean, we are Australia's most successful company in shareholder returns in our Australian stock exchange history. I mean, for us, these are large contracts. So they include contracts in Europe, they include contracts in North America, they include contracts in China, contracts in Australia, technology and research from all over the world, manufacturing from the brilliance of North Americans and Chinese technology and manufacturing. We don't care, we just care about the result and going green profitably, proving that as emissions go down, Francine, profits go up. It's a simple message for every businessman and politician out there.
Andrew, so these are new, I mean, no one's heard about this yet. This is like a new announcement. Can you give us like a size and scope, an idea of what exactly this looks like concretely? Like how much money is behind this?
Okay, well, just to say that for our future and for the scale of agreements we've entered into, I mean, we've built out the world's most efficient iron ore, logistics, rail, shipping, everything else system. We are the lowest cost in the world, and that's taken tens of billions of dollars. These contracts mark putting that in the shade. They will be much larger, and that's because they involve incredibly competitive supply, technology, solar, wind, storage, everything you need to glue that together, AI, all of that powered into creating energy systems, Francine, on a baseload basis for green energy, 24/7, every day of the year, every second of the day, but green. I'm sorry, it's green. Bad luck, it's also the cheapest.
Cheapest than anything? I mean,
No, cheapest than anything. Cheaper than anything. This is, I mean, if you're going to combine low cost of capital, Fortescue has an excellent global banking reputation. Low cost of capital, really your operating cost now is capital, the cost of capital, because making energy from wind and solar, Francine, is as good as free, which the world has ever had in history. I mean, cheaper than dragging logs onto a bushfire to get warmth when we were cavemen, cheaper than oil and gas, which is still men dragging logs on a fire. It just happened a few years ago. That's all oil and gas is. This is now technology-driven, lowest cost on Earth, renewable energy. Now, trouble in paradise, it's not firmed. It is going to be now. We have battery energy storage systems and fuels which will keep those systems going like my company has to. I mean, it doesn't shut down on Christmas Day or Easter. Every second of every day it's rolling. 200 million tonnes a year. Our trucks go around the world, once or twice a day without a driver. We're the most automated company in the world. This is a high-tech company which shifts 1 billion tonnes a year. 200 million tonnes around the world. Massive emitter going green.
So, Andrew, is that scalable for other industries and other companies?
Yes, totally. I mean, the mining industry has the same shareholders as I do, right? Rio Tinto, BHP, we all answer to the same big shareholders. And they're just going to see, hey, I don't care if you say you can't go green. Fortescue has. It's saving us $1 billion. We're seeing that in our dividends. If you can't, you're right. Get off the stage. I'll get someone in who will. Shareholders rule.
I mean, do shareholders care about green still as much as they did 2-3 years ago, or do they now just care about profits?
Look, I think in many cases where there's a lacking in character, you have the thin veneer of the facade able to be ripped off because of the utterances of your president. You know, if it's good enough for the American president, it's good enough for our institution. What they can't say has changed, because it hasn't, is economics. Back the horse with self-interest. At least, you know, that horse will be trying. And this horse has the biggest lead. This horse is the fastest. This horse is the lowest cost of energy the world has ever seen.
Talk to me about your Green Pioneer vessel. It's in New York at the moment, is it?
Yeah, look, to all my happy Americans, you know, we're a hard-edged business-like company. So we're pursuing a fuel that we don't have to buy off a petrostate, off a dictator. We're pursuing a fuel that can be made anywhere, and that is hydrogen. Now, the beauty of the fuel we're using, which is ammonia, if anyone's ever smelt ammonia in their cleaning products, then you'll probably know that ammonia's been around since Jesus was a boy, and it is a very common product and shipped all over the world. However, what we discovered is that there's more hydrogen. Hydrogen is that miracle molecule. There's more hydrogen molecules in a cubic metre of ammonia than there is in a cubic metre of hydrogen. And you think, well, that's not possible. Well, actually it is, because the nitrogen molecules are huge and the hydrogen molecules are tiny, so the specific gravity compresses the hydrogen molecules. So for us, it's a perfect future fuel. It comes from sun, wind, water. And that's not that hard. It's not going to run out. The water balance of the world will never change. Sun's going to shine, wind's going to blow. We can count on that. Can't count on politics.
Regulation has been a little bit maybe slow to adopt that, because ammonia is also dangerous. I mean, but it's changed. Are you
Ammonia's dangerous.
Have you had less pushback in the recent years?
Yeah, look, the reason why you got ammonia in your cleaning products is that it's not that dangerous right now in its purest form. Yeah, but you can smell it. You build for it. For the last 70, 80 years, we've been shipping it around the world. We're just, instead of shipping it in containers, we're running it through the engine. It works.
But when are you expecting more vessels like yours?
We have 8 of some of the largest ships in the world. They're 330 metres long. And we're now working out where to make the ammonia to refuel those ships. It will probably be in Western Australia. We're running all the numbers. The reason why that ship's here, Francine, is because your country is using economic and other coercions to stop the International Maritime Organization. It's not going to work, by the way. This vote's going to go through. You're just going to be in the loser bunch, not the winners bunch. But they're saying if you vote for the IMO, which is bringing in encouragement for the shipping industry to go green, the encouragement starts in 2027. It really winds up by 2035. We've all got time to change to a cheaper, better and greener fuel. And so that was met with, under this administration, threats of visa cancellations. Probably mine, baby. Might not see you for a while, guys. That was met with tariff threats and any other threats. And why? I mean, this hogwash about, oh, this is a vote for China, not for the American people. Well, last time I checked, the biggest importer and exporter in the world is China, by tons. I mean, go to Walmart, you'll see China everywhere. That came on ships. So, you know, the biggest exporter and importer across the oceans is China. They're going to pay the bulk of this. And I don't see why people are worried. I ship 200 million tonnes. I'm so happy to pay it, you know, because it's persuading us to leave the old horse and cart behind, which everyone said was impossible, and go to the motor car, which everyone said, oh no, I mean, that'll never happen, but it's even happened in North America. So that's all we're doing. We're going from this old fuel to this new fuel, which, like oil and gas, got strongly encouraged in the early days by politicians with character.
Andrew, what's your relationship like actually with China on net zero, but also green hydrogen?
Look, across the world, I make friends. So in Europe, in North America, and in China, I treat everyone exactly the same. And this is, so I have very good relationships in China, like I have excellent relationships here.
When you look at what their research and development says in terms of decarbonization, is China more advanced than some of our Western countries?
Yeah, I'd say they're in full gallop. I mean, let's just look at the raw economics, Francine. I'm sure China understands that as the world's biggest population, global warming is going to hit them the hardest. I absolutely know they get that. But there's another thing they also get. They import all their oil and gas, practically all of it. So every time one of those cars goes green, one of those factories goes green, every time they produce another solar panel and use it at home, their country becomes more competitive. Their standard of living increases because their power costs fall. They stop losing foreign exchange. They've already got massive foreign exchange, but they don't want to lose anything they don't have to. So they're going fully renewable because they can do that in China. They've got, you know, Chevrons and ExxonMobils and Saudi Aramcos shining on their country, blowing across their land. So they're capturing that. It's economic. And that's the message I would like to get over to the US administration. Don't stand on the hose. This is raw economics. And there's many things about your president I think is great. I mean, if he's coming out now really supporting Ukraine, you know, this is so much the right thing to do for every American. For your 80 years of Cold War history, this is where, you know, a great leader will take us. Totally support Ukraine. The view on global warming is, I believe will change. I mean, he's a practical guy. As soon as he sees the economics written all over the wall, he'll say, yeah, righto.
Is it about shareholder value? Would that convince almost anyone?
Yeah.
Do you see that? I mean, you can put that on a balance sheet.
Yeah, it's all about shareholder value. I mean, we are holding a track record as Australia's highest performing company by shareholder returns comfortably. And we're going into this. And some shareholders said, yeah, it's not really for us. And I said, well, it's completely fine. But other shareholders said, no, this is spectacular. We're going in with you.
When you talk to your peers, other chief executives, I know you've had a number of meetings across town. They had to run from the UN to get here in time. What are they telling you about decarbonization?
I have not met an American chief executive who hadn't said, we know it's going to happen. Okay, some want to do it now because of the administration, which you have here, which seems to be all about one old lame horse in this multi-horse race. And I'm just saying, open the race up, US administration. Oil and gas is fine. You can be in love with it, who cares, right? But there's all these other horses now and they're lean, fit, stronger. So all of them say, no, we get it, Andrew. We get the economics. I mean, you wouldn't be doing it. You're already lowering your costs if there wasn't great economics to it, if you weren't going to increase shareholder returns. Some do it behind their hand because they don't want to get penalised by an administration who's just a little slow to wake up to the fact that the world's future energy will be 24/7 baseload power green.
Andrew Forrest, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Francine.